the 5.
And they were just stacking and farming Ancients all day.
Echo Stomp onto 2. Boat is coming on top of the toss, but a nice disruption to dodge basically everything. Lornoff's, his rune was actually dispelled completely. Gets the Avalanche onto 4. His team cannot assist because of the arena. Lornoff still relatively low, but it's very tanky. Finally, the magic damage comes in from Q, but the Tiny is already lost for Aurora.
2
Gonna lose the Omni Knight.
3 kill.
Ollie will follow suit, so it's a 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Heroic.
Put some pressure up here in the top side.
But he has a 2K. We're going to see Lornoff with the Avatos. Schofield will be able to disrupt himself, but he's going to be surrounded by enemies. But here comes the Zip and the Orchid, as Lornoff actually is going to be quite healthy. The Orchid was on jabs to prevent the boat.
And
Now
5-second
full
cooldown on
disengage for
Arena.
Heroic. There is a haste rune available, another Avatos. Divine Llama gets off the spear in the meantime, though. Here comes the boat and the ET ult as well. Divine Llama gets 1. And it looks like jabs will follow suit. Eventually will tick away. That's 2 cores dead for Aurora.
Everything goes faster. So
All right, smoke from Aurora. They need to have something go well for them to get the toss back onto Divine Llama. He pops the BKB, gets the arena onto 4 heroes. It means 23 Savage is completely isolated. He's just getting casually right-clicked down by K1. Ollie's the first to fall. 23 Savage now attempting to run away. Gets off the waveform. Divine Llama misses the spear.
It's very clearly a mental play.
They're scanning. They know they're there.
Yeah.
Maybe they get softened up by the Tormentor. Schofield finally has his cleanse.
I mean,
how
if they
can you
break
kill
on-
him
they-
now?
they break on
K1
This is not
gets
a thing.
initiated on, I guess, if you want to call it that, but he walks into the rest of the team. Divine Llama gets the Mars Arena off. Already the death of the Marauder, but they do take out 1 Butler. You need to find the second to be able to prevail here. Divine Llama actually taking quite a bit of damage, and Purification is not enough to save him. So a 1 for 2 as K1 Hector now applying all his pressure to jabs. Doesn't want to finish the job, apparently. Analog with the Orchid upon the morph. Echo Stomp. Do they have the control? He's trying to morph back up, but that's essentially a dieback, and they're just going to call it GG's.
Additional jungle creeps if possible. Oh, they're just going to dive, it looks like. They're running at him with the
Pressure
drinking
K1.
buddies.
There is a TP coming in, though. Hector in a bit of trouble. Snowball's coming for him. A couple right clicks will suffice, but the cookie to keep him alive. Ice Shard's not enough. Now the Scatter Blast onto Q with the dive to follow. He's going to eventually tick away, and it's KJ who gets the first blood.
Oh, Boar is... It's brutal. Nasty. Jabs, no mana.
Yeah, and he's going to get some Whirling Axes, although Ollie's coming in from the south, gets off his disruption onto K1. We'll have to work with his illusions now. He has stacks of Shadow Poison applying to him. He gets a nice Whirling Axes, but dies shortly after as KJ, I believe he gets a kill with his passive.
Very close fight. Analog has showed up. Wants to go for jabs with the roll. If he connects this one, he's too far. Not going to happen.
Yeah, first rotation from
That's the
Analog. He
kick.
does hit the stone here.
Oh, the full
Big
bore,
full
of
bore
course.
and the right click.
Ah, man, that's my old brain being like, he can't because of the
Connect here.
overwhelming amount of...
Drinking buddies, and there's the Spectre, first ult of the game. K1 in a lot of trouble, but here comes the Mars Arena, but no, the Troll does die just on the outskirts, but look at the damage, all under this tier 1 tower. 23 Savage ticking away, although Analog doesn't have a whole lot of mana to work with, so they get the Tusk, they'll get the Darkseer, and these heroes are dropping like flies, although the Scatter Blast is avoided. 23 Savage gonna be able to dodge another roll.
He has no escape plan, though. No TP.
He could try to deny himself to the creeps. It's gonna be
He's making
spotted
a work
now.
for it. Did he magnetize nothing?
I'm not sure.
I didn't see the magnetize. I was like, they're all
Another
gonna
Spectral
die.
Dagger into the trees. He spotted at the last moment. Sunray tickling him. As K1 dies to Lornoff. Okay, we'll talk about that in just a moment. 23 Savage eventually will die.
Led to somewhat of a trade, I suppose. Oh, KJ does have Supernova.
He does have Supernova inside the egg. Nice spear. Can they save the egg? It's going to be close. A big rebuke comes out, and the egg does activate. Lornoff and company in a lot of trouble. He dies at 23 Savage. Another death to his name.
But yeah, it's... The concern here is that Spectre
By
it's
Llama,
gonna take a while.
Arena towards that top rune area. Analog comes in with a big magnetize onto several heroes. Disruption to keep Lornoff safe, but Analog is the one taking the brunt of the damage despite having the blade mail. He is the first to fall. Jabs gets clipped by the Scatter Blast.
Are they actually thinking about it? Wait a second. He has blade mail and illusion.
Coming, the Walrus Punch onto Analog, already getting evaporated, but will stay by a little bit longer, but the arena comes in finally from Divine Llama. not enough to save the Earth Spirit. The egg does go off, but the Shadow Demon disruption actually avoided most of it. So Lornoff's still alive, and now Divine Llama won against the world. And the world win.
And I was going to say they defend the tower. They technically didn't. They end up denying it, but that was a 5v4.
K1
up top.
He's going to get some help from Schofield. Gets a nice cookie on it too, but there's a third member in Ollie. Snowball going to find its way over to the Snapfire. 23 Savage is actually going to be fine, and K1 Hector not so much.
Savage at the Dire Words, a little bit out on the map.
They want K1.
He's
alone. He
alone.
gets the Ancients. He's in a bit of trouble. He actually does use Battle Trance. He's just bashing the crap out of this Darkseer. They try to get him onto the wall, but it's not going to happen. That's already kill for K1. They're going to burn life number 1.
Oh boy, missing that vacuum real bad.
On the way. Arena only going to hit Q. They're going to focus everything on the Shadow Demon first. That's an easy pickoff. Q, Ice Shards himself trying to get out with a little cheeky move there. It's not to be though. 3 kills in the name of Heroic.
If they check it.
3.
Oh, they're going to walk into the perfect time.
Oh, or not.
Oh, he aggroed it. He aggroed it with a Cloak of Flames. Wow. That was on the dot.
Aurora want to fight now. And they have a really good lineup for this, by the way. Obviously, you have the Radiance, the back wall. And
they're very stacked in the pit, but Darkseer isn't here.
Yeah. Lornoff throwing out the Chakram. Analog goes in with a BKB and his Magnetize. It looks like Roche will be for Heroic. Lornoff desperately trying to get over there. It's going to be close, actually. Lornoff takes the Aegis, and they kill Roche as well. They have the arena, but everybody's outside of it, outside of Lornoff, who's basically impossible to kill here. The Mars has fallen. K1 trying to focus onto jabs. And Analog gets punched into the air. We have a TP buyback from the Shadow Demon. Analog, despite having the blade on after Megan, does drop as jabs somehow getting out with barely any HP.
Offer a lot in that regard, but only offers control. They're really trusting in K1's ability to kill.
They get the Hex. They get the opening onto the Tusk, but the Vacuum is going to delay things. And look at the damage that Divine Llama has already taken. The Snowball wasted so much time. Nobody even dies inside of it. And the first to fall is Divine Llama. K1 finally pops the Battle Chance, but here is where the kiting begins. Gets kicked onto the cliff. Finally gets brought down by the cookie. And is killed off shortly after a 3-for-0, and Aurora in the driver's seat.
That's a 3-pointer.
Savage.
Schofield is
taking a Lotus.
Okay.
All right, that's a bit risky. There's the Hex from Devi. It's going to get initiated on. His Analog is really deep here. The BKBs are traded, and the Pipe is going to brush off a lot of this damage, but Schofield eventually brought down by 23 Savage. He'll buy back instantly. Now the roll on to the Timbersaw, still trying to ignore him. The arena, nobody's even inside other than the Snowball Q. He wastes so much time again.
Oh, Lornoff
is actually taking quite a bit, but we'll be able to Timber Chain away. Eventually, they do finally take out the Tusk, as the Mortimer's Kisses not providing a whole lot. But they do find the Shadow Demon on the outskirts here. Well, they don't have the vision, apparently. And the Phoenix eventually brought down by 23 Savage. There's the buyback, though, onto the Tusk. Is Ollie still alive in the trees? Analog, still. We have a big kick onto Divine Llama with the Snowball to follow. He's going to be brought down. 70 seconds of no Mars. And now K1 focusing on this Tusk. Be a pretty big kill because it would be a dieback, in fact, but 23 Savage using his ult to get to the back line. And Schofield and company going to try to collapse here, but K1 destroyed. And Schofield looks to be next on the list, and Aurora did lose a member or so, but they come out on top. Yep, Snapfire is very good. Oh, the silence into the kick, and the Hex.
Oh boy.
He's dead. No Phoenix Egg for the next 70 seconds. Yes. Yeah, looks like it does. So against Egg should work as well as
dodging the shards.
Shards not going to be there. Bash is, though, as Lornoff making his way over. It's a 3v1. Borrowed time activates. Divine Llama at half HP. There's the first chrono of the game, 23 Savage. They want to finish off Divine Llama, but he's got support in numbers. Analog comes in with the coil. Might have to retreat, though. And on the side, they're chasing down Schofield. He might be the only kill of this fight. Yeah, true. By Llama, he's initiated on. They're trying to burn his ult. They do so. Can they follow it up, though? Is Analog making his way over? The Bramble there with the coil. but the egg on the Chronosphere, they only clip the puck who gets repelled. He's fine. Egg does detonate. Schofield, he's going to get caught in the river. Still, Aurora using a lot just for a Dark Willow, although Analog, okay, he's going to be safe thanks to the Aphotic Shield. So many ways to give this puck some sort of a shield to live.
Not the case. They'll find Q.
Yep, Snowball onto the creep. High ground he comes. Falls shortly after. Although, the Orchid being revealed, Lorinoff will be able to get a trade of sorts. Gets the Electric Vortex onto the puck, who's very, very low now. Maybe the Waning Rift away. Uses the coil to try to run, but it's not to be.
No defense mounted by Heroic.
Oh, we got a coil onto the Void. It's going to be a close one. Oh, he does get taken out. Divide Llama gets credit for it. Much needed kill here from Heroic.
Oh, Aurora want to fight?
They sure do. Orchid onto the Dark Willow, but the Aphotic Shield is there to help save her. And now Jab's in such an awful spot, completely surrounded. And you're right, why?
Not exactly the attire I would expect my substitute
23
team.
Savage with the Chrono. Okay, the Dragonite actually runs into it. They have the Sunray on top of him doing a decent amount of damage, but the Repel basically mitigating everything after the fact. The egg blows up as well, and Aurora kind of out of steam. And Heroic have basically used nothing.
They popped everything and they got him to
For
half.
farming capabilities, and he has ult in 7 seconds to siege for lane number 2. He's gonna get punched in the air. There's the Chronosphere. KJ trying to apply something to him. They actually, will they get him? The Guardian Angels to be alive, and now the Terrorize and the Satanic being used to get him back to half HP. Divide Llama is pretty deep, will have to use his ult. Another punch into the air, but after all of that, Aurora still technically get nothing. It was close.
Oh, they're trying now.
Lorinoff, he's gonna get silenced by the Waning Rift. Dragon Tail to follow, but the Snowball is gonna keep him alive a little bit longer. 23 Savage trying to take out K1. He's gonna get some help with the Drinking Buddies. Hector getting really low. They finally take him out, but it cost them 3 of their own heroes. And now Analog trying to take out Lorinoff, but with those 2 buybacks, Heroic will fall back.
When Nullifier is a required purchase along the way instead of going straight. Scotty,
hey, they have Waller's King.
Okay.
They have it.
Yeah, he must have sold something, right? Or did he find the gold?
Not sure.
We'll see if they kick him in. This is the Dragon form life, so if they can kick him into the tier 4s, kill him there, and then you want a Dragon form, that will be something.
Yep, here we go. There's the kick into the base. Nullifier applied as well. He pops the BKB. Now he's Walrus punched into the air. Half HP, he's stuck inside the charge, but there's Satanic keeping him alive. The Terror is on top of 23 Savage with the BKB. They have the damage. Life number 1 is dead. He does not have Dragon form when he's back. And finally, the Chronosphere comes out. 23 Savage will get King J to start things out, and the DK still all alone, close to the fountain. They vanquish the Dragon again. Aurora and showing signs of life. 23 Savage actually will not be going down here, and Schofield will eventually take away. Pressure shard. 23 Savage, he uses the Chronosphere. It's gonna clip the Dark Willow, but the Shadow Realm was already used. Schofield will end up dying, but that's a big ultimate down.
Oh, they have this.
There's the Dragon, but the instant Hex onto Hector, but he's gonna pop his BKB. The Sunray doing a lot of work, but he's gonna pop it, not taking any damage. There's the Chronosphere for 23 Savage, number 2, thanks to the Refresher Shard, making good use of it, but a big Terrorize to delay things as much as possible. And look at the Satanic going to work, but the Walrus kick away, and K1 Hector looks to be dead in the water. That is a big kill for Aurora, and they still maintain Aegis. As I say that, they use it instantly, but Divide Llama trying to keep his puck alive. Lorinoff gets the surround tactics onto Analog. He gets inside the tree line, has Illusory Orb soon, blinks away to safety. Divide Llama, though, no ult to work with now. Eventually Sheepstick, and he will be brought to his knees.
But with that buyback and the teleport location that they were fighting in with the Twin Gate, he could easily connect down to the outpost.
Yep, and they got a Roche banner, so they got all the creeps they can work with. They're actually going to try to go for Throne here. 30 seconds of no buyback here on the Dragon Knight.
Whoa,
Tier 4 number 1 is down.
Right
Are they actually just going to win this game right here, right now? Curse Crown on 23 Savage. They don't have much of a defense to work with on Heroic. They're about to be eliminated from TI. Coil on the back lines on the 2, but 23 Savage and Lorinoff and company still focusing on the Throne. KJ gets nullified. He is useless. The Ancient is actually done.